Hello and welcome back. I'll be continuing our movie library plugin from the previous videos. I have already created a custom post type and a taxonomy. How have I created this? I have created this using the WP-CLI. WP-CLI is a command line interface provided to manage WordPress, and it provides the scaffold command. It also has subcommand post type and have passed a prompt argument as well. This argument would prompt me to get inputs of every available argument for this command. And I have used this command to create a custom post type. It will create an entire file in my plugin. So I have provided the plugin name as the sixth argument. CLI command will create a folder for post types, and in that folder, it will create a file based on the slug. Similarly, I have created a taxonomy using the taxonomy scaffold command. So as you can see in the movie library plugin, we can have post types in the movie.php. In the taxonomy, I have created a genre.php. I have already loaded those two files in our main plugin file, which is required to execute when the plugin file gets loaded. Let's open movie.php file. Since I have registered the custom post type, if I show the WordPress admin dashboard, you can see the movie post type and a genre taxonomy assigned to that post type. And for simplicity, I have created a demo post as an example. Let's go through all the arguments of this register post type function. What are the different uses of this argument? The entire file is created by the WP-CLI command, and I have also renamed this function. This function was previously movie_init, but it was too generic of a function name. So I have added the prefix MLB and a register post type for the movie library. It's a short prefix to make sure that it doesn't conflict with any of the third-party plugins, and that function has been hooked on to the init hook. If you don't know about actions, filters, or hooks, go to the plugin handbook page. There is a hooks document handbook, and that handbook page will give you all the information about actions, filters, and how you can use them. Now, let's talk about register post type function. Let's open this function so that we can identify it through its function definition and inline comment documentation as well. We can check the official WordPress documentation page, link in the description, or we can go through the WordPress core files and find this function and check there as well. I'll be going through the core files so that you can get a hands-on on how to check WordPress functions from within the core itself without going into developer documentation every time. You can see all these informations or all these arguments have been added in different versions of WordPress. This information is very helpful for developers as well. This function accepts two arguments, post type slug, that is in our case movie, and the second argument is args. In movie.php, I have passed movie as the post type slug. I know we have talked about naming best practices, but currently this plugin is only being used locally and it won't be used by any other user, so I am just keeping movie for simplicity. But I would highly recommend using a prefix if your plugin is going to be used by multiple users, or if you are going to publish your plugin to WordPress.org plugin directory. So it can be something like rtMovie. So this is the movie post type slug that I have used to create it. And the second argument is an array of arguments, which can be checked in the inline comments here in the function as well. It tells about what things can be passed and what is the usage of each of these arguments. First is the label. We have labels here which are used to differentiate custom post types by giving them custom names or labels. You can use these labels for a custom post type such as movies or all movies. All these labels are used at different places we can see on the screen in the menu, the search movies, add new movie. For example, if I changed all movies to all movies.test, you can see it is all movies, and if I reload it, it will change to all movies test. Now, what if you do not provide it? Let's see, I'll comment this out, and then when I reload it, it will take movies. So this will take singular or plural name of the slug pass. So it is better to provide all the labels so that we can identify the different meanings when we see them on screen. These are all the labels. You can go through them one by one and you can see how they can be used. For example, we have set featured image. If I open this post, you can see this button is labeled set featured image. Let me change it to set movie poster. And now if I reload this page, the button label will change to set movie poster. Similarly, you can change the labels for every featured image instance. So I'll change this by copying and pasting it here. Now let's talk about the other arguments. You can see them in the inline comments in this function. The first argument that we passed was post type, and the second is arguments, which is an array of arguments. You can see all the available arguments within that argument added and its types as well. If it's a label, you can pass a label, singular label only, and its type is string. If you want to provide multiple labels or you want to customize and change all the labels available, you can pass the labels argument, like we discussed earlier. Then there is the description. You can provide a short description of the post types. We haven't passed it, but if we want to, we can pass it. It's optional. The default will be empty. Then there is the public argument. Public argument is used to set whether this post type is publicly available or not. If you passed it to, then it will be displayed to the front end user. If you have set it to false, then it will be displayed on the WordPress admin, but it won't be visible or it won't be accessible for the front end user. This argument is also used to set values of other different arguments such as exclude from search, publicly queryable, show UI, and show in nav menus. All these arguments inherit from the public argument. You can also override these arguments. As we can see from the comments, all can be individually overwritten, but if you do not pass these arguments, they will inherit the default value from the public argument. Then we have hierarchical. This is to make post type hierarchical. For example, in WordPress, pages are on hierarchical side, where you can set a parent-child relationship. But in movie, we don't have that kind of relationship unless we want. For example, a movie can have multiple chapters or parts, but we don't have that right now. So for simplicity, we have set movie as the non-hierarchical type. But in default WordPress installations, pages are hierarchical post type. Then we have an argument exclude from search. If you pass this value true, then it will be excluded from front-end searches. The default value of this argument is the opposite of public. Then it's publicly queryable. And if it's passed false, it won't be searchable or accessible. And these are the rewrite rules that have been added in the if the publicly queryable is true. You will learn more about it on rewrite rules and rewrite APIs in later videos. Then we have show UI argument. If you want to show the user a user interface to manage the post types. For example, if I passed show UI to false, currently we had the movies post type. Since I passed it to false, we don't have that here. If I pass it to true, we'll have a UI to manage those posts. For example, you have created a custom post type to manage your content, but you do not want a user interface. Then you can use the show UI argument. Then there is show in menu argument. This is if you want to display the custom post type in the admin menu or not. For example, here you can see the all movies and menus. But if you do not want to display it here, then you can just pass false to show in menu argument and it won't be displayed. Similarly, we have show in admin bar and show in nav menu. The show in admin bar is used when you want to hide it from here. So you see in the admin bar, you can create a new movie from here or access the movie post type as well. But if you do not want to display it here, then you can pass false as an argument to the show in admin bar. Similarly, show in menu is used for navigation menu. Next is REST base and REST namespace and REST controller class. By default, these arguments are used for REST API, and REST API we will talk about in another video where we'll learn specifically about REST API. Then we have menu position. So menu position is used for how and where You want to display a custom post type menu. Currently, it's displayed after the comments section. Now, what if I want to display it before pages? Here, there is something called a menu structure. For example, I have this information. In a single site, there are these possible values for the position of menus. So for dashboard, it's the second place, separator is the fourth place, and posts are in the fifth place. These are the positions of the existing default WordPress menus. Currently, our movie menu is displayed after comments. So if I want to show them after posts, then I'll have to keep the position after 5 and before 10. So let me just replace it with 6. And then when I reload this, you can see the menu position has been changed to below the posts. Next, we have the menu icon. These are the menu icons. As you can see, we have media, we have pages, we have posts. But what if you want to change it? Let's go to the dash icons page. Here you can have all the dash icons. You can have a look at them. All these dash icons are available readily in the WordPress admin. We can see which icon is suitable, and let's click on that icon. Let's copy the slug from here, go to our code base and change the slug here. Then when I reload this page, our icon for custom post type has been changed. You can use various dash icons from the WordPress dash icons library. We just need to pass the slug. Next, we have capability type, capabilities, map meta cap, but we'll discuss them in another video when we talk specifically about user roles, the capabilities, and how we can add custom capabilities. That's all for this video. See you in the next one. Jai WordPress.